Good, dog. You trying to write a verse with me or what's up?
Hell yeah, let's write a verse. What?
Well, shit, you know what it is? I am Ryan Book. I got my brother with me. That's the other mall. He kind of saucy right now. This is
I'm your
something
brother
new.
Maul, the other Maul. I don't
This
really have a rap name anymore, blood. Like literally, it was like 10 years ago. It was like Phoenix.
hold on, we're gonna
Then I
get into
went
that. We're gonna
to
get into that. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Yeah. Well, like I said, we got something new coming from now talking about. And us all being MCs, I wanted to see if you were trying to write a verse with me. We're gonna
do
go
it.
we're gonna write a 16 because you know we MCs and that's how it's broken down. So my first question would be, who is your favorite artist that you know?
That I know.
That you know.
Favorite artist that I know.
Yeah. I mean
You, blood.
huh?
You.
See, I didn't want to be biased and ask that first question, but I kind of thought that would be it.
Dead ass.
Like,
Because look, man, like I respect you. I appreciate you. And I listen to everything that you've ever sent me.
oh shit, that's true.
Everything that you have ever sent me, I listen to it. The first part, I used to write real intensive notes. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm no rapper. I'm no like body special. But I always felt like I wanted to give you feedback because I believed in you. I
Mm.
believe present tense in you. So I was like, I love him. So I gotta be like, blood, we gotta fix this shit because it's fucking with me right here. This recording thing is like messing with me. Or I would talk to you and be like, yo, blood, like I know who you are. Like I know your skill. I know your level, your talent. I know where you can go if you fucking kept just pushing at it. I was like, this ain't it. Or
Yeah.
this one is cool, but I feel like, and I felt like an asshole at, like after that. I felt like a jerk. I felt like who the fuck am I, right? Like giving him notes. Like I'm not a damn studio. I'm not like
But
Warner Brothers trying to give somebody like notes on what they should do or whatever.
but at the same time, you was another artist that I respected, so I could expect that and respect that from you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I looked at it like this: if you care about something, and if you love somebody, if you really rock with them, you gotta be honest with them.
It was a
Like
fact.
like the way I talk to you about like the black race, and I go like blood. Literally, people stop fucking with me 2, 3 years ago. Once I started to really try to step out on my own and really object to certain things I saw and be like, I don't really rock with this. I don't really think this is right. People stop fucking with me.
Um, what's the song? Damn, I should have gave you time for this. What's the song
But
you wish you could have been featured on in the world, Greg? Like a
in
big
the world,
in the world, Greg. That's why I said I should have gave you time. So what's the song out right now that you
banned
wish?
from TV, bro. Fuck it,
Wow,
banned from TV.
good one. I like that. I like that. Okay. Who or what made you want to do this? And I don't mean made you want to do music, but I mean made you want to do music at a different level and made you want to let other people hear your music. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that make, inspire you. Like, he's nice. I want to do it live. It's some cats that make you want to be better than, you know what I mean? Like, who was that for you?
All right, so what was the question?
Who
Who
made you, and
inspired?
yeah.
Dude, it was really me because it was like I grew up. I did little like tracks and songs and stuff with my god brother at the time, and that was fun and stuff, but nothing ever got me to that level until it was me pushing for it.
That's great.
Literally, it was me pushing for it. It was me going, it was me going, this is dope. I love this. I feel that I have a different perspective or approach that I want to put out to the world, you know?
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
was like, I gotta do something. But my problem, honestly, it's kind of like your problem. We're we are way too collaborative. You dig? So I want to bring all my homies with me. I got 6, 7 people on the album with me. But not everybody cares about the long term goal like you do. Not everybody cares about pushing the line like you do.
That's fact. That's fact.
Especially when everybody's not putting in the same amount of money.
Mm. Yeah, that's funny because I would. Yeah, yeah, because
Blood, if
you
I'm
start.
spending $1,000 on studio time, $2,000 pressing up CDs, I got a different level of I gotta go get it,
Mhm.
right? But everybody else is like, yeah, it's cool, man. We'll sell some stuff. Like everybody else is very chill. But if everybody else had, $5,000 skin in the game, if everybody else, blood, I I used to be so good with money, right? And then I got with this one girl and I was like fucked up, right? But I used to be super good with money. And even through that situation, I was good with it. I spent my last like $1,300 pressing up CDs. Like legit, I went to a presser in San Francisco. I pressed up it might have been 500 CDs. I don't think it was 1,000. It was like a few boxes though.
Oh, because you
I
pressing up the
spent
CD
like,
itself.
yeah, but this is like 15, 16 years ago, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When like CD Baby was popping and all of that stuff, right? So I pressed up on my own like 1,000 CDs. I spent my last $1,300. Like I wrote a check for $1,300 and I had like a few hundred left. But nobody else had um that much on the line like I did.
Yeah,
You did? So
yeah.
when I was asking cats for money when we would sell CDs, I looked selfish or I looked like I just wanted money or any like since I was only like 22 at the time, I really didn't know how to do it. And I was trying to do it the best way that I just knew how, but I didn't know anything about how to do it.
You're just trying to do it the
So when I,
polite way. You trying
right,
to
I was
handle business the polite way, and that's not how business to
right.
be handled, bro. Yeah, that's a
I
lesson
was.
learned. How many names have you been through?
Names?
Yeah.
I gotta say this because I got you on here. The only reason why I ever had a nickname was because of you. You know that.
Do you remember what your
Blood,
name was when mine was Charlie
Muskrat.
Crucial? No, I remember that. I wasn't even gonna bring that part up. I knew that. I was talking about when my name was Charlie Crucial. You remember what your name was?
What?
Was it Tommy Knuckles?
Tommy Knuckles. What? That's a goofy ass name, but it sounds dope though.
Yeah,
But
Davis.
yeah, dude, I moved to Virginia. My dad got with your mom. Our families got together. Your nickname was Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I said my nickname was Muskrat.
Yeah, I never knew what a muskrat was.
Like that was never my nickname ever.
But how many? The question, but okay, I guess I asked this question
How many
different. What
names?
was your rap names? Like, how many stage names have you been through?
I never had a rap name until Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Phoenix came. This is some rum. Phoenix came back in California trying to get myself started on my own. So my name at that point was Phoenix. I went by Phoenix on my MySpace with Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to a girl's crib in Long Beach. And she only knew me by Phoenix until I landed.
Yeah.
Huh? No. And it's funny because I was in a relationship, and people always think when you travel is on some goofy shit. I was going to LA to do this kind of conference, right? Where it was like a networking event. And I went by Phoenix, and I was really cool with homegirl on MySpace. And we were cool. We were both black and Puerto Rican. It was like on some like cool stuff. She was like, "Come out here. You ain't gotta get no hotel." I went out there. I stayed in the living room. She stayed in her room with a locked door, and it was it was cracking. It was great. She drove me to my event, picked me up. We hung out, worked on some stuff, and it was fire, man. It was great. But yeah, Phoenix didn't come until I got back to California. In Virginia, blood, it was like Tommy Knuckles, Canum.
Who?
Remember Canum? It was Maniac spelled backwards.
I do not remember this. This probably when my name was like Perel or some dumb shit.
Yeah, it was some goofy. It was no
Who
when
is
your name was your,
Hosan?
your name was audacious, even though
Yes.
it's pronounced audacious. Dumb. God damn, bro, we ain't know nothing. Nothing. Ain't, your name was audacious.
So no, the first time I heard somebody say the word audacious, I was like, hold on, what? That's how you pronounce
What?
it? Because I thought, you
Yeah.
know, I thought audacity. I thought, okay, audacious. Nigga, like,
No. No. Our illiterate asses was saying audacious,
yes,
and it
nigga.
was audacious. So when you were audacious, I was something else because I was just trying to like follow what you were doing, right? So my only official name was like Phoenix when I moved back to California.
Okay, okay. Um, do you remember a time when you were outburst? Or what song were you outburst on?
I will say,
Ready to close out.
It might not have happened on wax, bro.
Are you the Hilton's on vacation?
I don't want to say it's never happened.
Yeah, bro.
That sounds very egotistical, right? Because it has. Because I've had like, all right, if you look at the last project I worked on, right? Fame. The Fame project, I was on half of the songs, but I kind of suffered from a Talib Kweli kind of thing
Mm,
to where I wanted to include too many bars or too many words in my verses, you know? So I
mm,
would try to pack like a 16 with a whole bunch of stuff. Whereas I would have a homie do a 16 that he flowed
mm.
perfectly on it. And I'm like, his 16 was better than mine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mine might have had more bars or whatever, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't flow. So it's happened a lot of times.
Okay, okay.
Being honest.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand it. All right, you headlining Summer Jam, Something in the Water, or Coachella?
My initial reaction is something in the water.
Really? What is the okay, so what's the big West Coast or Cali one? Day in Vegas? Is there another one that's kind of big?
Coachella. Coachella.
Coachella is the big one? Okay, okay, excuse me.
Coachella is California.
Okay, okay.
Thank you so much. Enjoy
All
the
right.
rest of your
But Coachella is a different audience.
Yeah.
It's a different demographic. It's a different dynamic.
Yes, I was
If
asking,
I
so
were in,
what's the biggest West Coast or Cali straight hip hop show? The Summer Jam and Something
I
in the
don't know
Water is
what.
crazy.
Anyway, all right. Coachella is the biggest West Coast joint, I think.
Yeah.
Um, the biggest, but it's not the Yeah, if
Not
I
the
were talking
dopest.
like an artist that want to get the like the biggest span or whatever, but as far as something more sentimental that means the most, I'd
Hmm.
probably go something in the water, man. It's Virginia Beach. I be in Virginia. It's not a bunch of goofies. It's a different kind of dynamic, man. I'd rather rock that stage hard.
Okay, okay. You know how Hit Boy and Nas got their album. Um, who just put one out? You know how Rocky Marciano, he usually do joints with just shit like that.
Alchemist,
Who is a dream one producer album?
a
Who would that
Dream
produce?
one producer album.
Yeah, who would your producer be?
Ooh, I'm going between Hit Boy and Alchemist.
Okay, okay.
Hit Boy and Alchemist, man.
Yeah.
And because you know why? Alchemist is from our generation
Hmm. Hmm.
where producers had a signature. When you didn't have a bunch of YouTube tutorials telling you how to do the same kind of beats, to where you weren't like a RZA trying to figure out how to make your kick drums more grimy and more gritty.
Yeah.
Like RZA was like, I had to figure out how to make my kick drums like grimier, right? Jay Dilla used the MPC in a way that it wasn't even intended for. He
Hmm.
took the instruction manual and just tossed it, right? And did his
Yeah.
own thing, right? But Jay Dilla influenced like 5 genres of music, though.
Hmm.
Hit Boy is one of the best producers out right now, young, but he doesn't have a signature.
That's
He
true.
can do a old school beat, like a 90s, like early 2000s kind of like boom bap beat. He can do something more current. Like he is versatile. He's dope, but he doesn't have a signature.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know who he is unless you tell me it's him.
That's true. Okay, okay. Do you remember your first time riding home, listening to yourself? You know how we used to put the CD, you leave the studio, put the CD in the joint. You remember that?
Yeah,
That was
I do.
tell me a little something.
I'm gonna go when we first started working on our project, uh, the promo mixtape. And this is how horrible I was at like naming stuff and trying to figure stuff out. I called the first project the promo mixtape. What? What kind of goofy shit is that, right? But anyway, for that project, I remember that was the first time really fucking with music, right? And when we would hit the studio and come back for that next week, all I did was listen to whatever songs we were working on.
Mhm.
And it was so wonderful. Like, I loved it, man. I was like, especially because I was the one in charge of it.
Mm.
I was playing EP. I was the executive producer, rapper, artist, director. I played all the roles, bud. And it's something about hitting a studio session
Mm.
and driving home with somebody else because I wasn't driving and playing a studio CD and going, blood, this is what we just made just now.
Yeah.
This shit was not perfect. It wasn't even good. It wasn't even properly mixed.
But it was you, nigga.
But blood, it was us. And we were
Yeah.
driving back like we were swinging on that shit like it was clean. And it wasn't. It was horrible. But we were like, oh, this is. But it was a beautiful moment, man. You know, it
That's
was a
true.
beautiful moment. Like recording in the studio, completing 2 songs that we were supposed to complete, like on schedule,
Mhm.
and driving back or either getting home and for the next like 6 days listening to those like 3 or 4 songs. incredible.
Yeah, what a time. What a time.
What a time, but look, we would go to the studio. We went to the studio in Oakland that was close to the Coliseum. Everybody is broke. I'm broke, but I have more money than everybody because I just stacked. You did? I was working like Burger King, but I was like stacking on my checks. And we would go to the studio. That was the only professional kind of studio we knew. We went to the studio in Oakland, and we would take the subway, right? Bart is the subway, right? So we would take the subway down, and trying to save money, we didn't want to take a taxi to the studio because that'd be like 10, 15 bucks. So we have these little bootleg ass taxi dudes. They be like, hey, taxi service, taxi service. It's like, Negro, you ain't no taxi. You would do with a car, right?
You Uber?
Uber before Uber. Before Uber was a thing, it was a dude with a Lincoln talking about, I'll take you down the street. Pay him 5, 10 bucks. He stayed us down like 2 miles down the street. Boom. Get the studio, record, mix it as much as we can, head back. That shit was wonderful, man.
That's true. What object represents hip hop the most to you? Like a boombox or shell toes or pen in the pad?
Microphone.
Microphone?
Microphone. Microphone.
Simple as that.
A microphone.
What's your creative process? Do you have a creative process? When it's time to create something, do you have a routine, a process you go through, or it hits you?
Honestly, I've been thinking about this since you gave me this whole idea. I don't personally have a defined creative process. My process is doing whatever is needed depending on how I feel for the song. So let's say like I get the idea that I want to do a song for something, right? I might have a certain theme I want to explore, but the way I work is really sporadic. Now is really sporadic. The way I do, like I write certain lines and bars I want to get off. Like I want to get this off. I want to get this off, right? And I write those down. All right, cool. Write those down. Boom, boom. And then I go back through the song, and I mumble how I want the flow to go. So if it's a song that because I wanted to, I think the best MCs match flow with lyrics. The greatest MCs match flow with lyrics and diction. And the top MCs, I'm thinking about this right now. The top MCs match flow with lyrics, with diction, and space.
Wow.
Space.
Let shit breathe.
Yes, let it breathe. When you study music, you have a note. You have eighth notes, whole notes, half notes, and you have a rest note. That's why the newer age MCs are kind of dope because they let the beat go for a couple beats, then they jump back in. Like Little Uzi Vert will be like, like he will let 3 beats go and then jump back in. And we may go, that's not lyrics, but I'm like, he's commanding this whole track right now. He's in charge. He's killing it. If you look at MC, what did Rakim say? MC means master of ceremony. Mic controller, right? If Little Uzi Vert is going it's like he is fucking controlling the whole song. And he's figuring out when I need to rap, when I need to back up, rap again, back up, and then kill it.
Space.
It's a beast, man.
Yeah.
It's a beast, and you'll get somebody that goes, "Oh, you just got to bar out the whole time, or you just got to rapidy rap the whole time," and it's like, no, especially if you're trying to be like a full grown artist. Now, an artist like a Lupe, honestly, I feel like Lupe, when he wants to, Lupe can do whatever he wants.
It sound good.
Lupe Fiasco could do whatever he wants. He's done trappy stuff, drilly stuff. Like Lupe only started to get critiqued during his Lasers album, but that's when he had a bunch of personal stuff going on. Dad died. His boy Chili was sentenced to like 50 years or something like that. His label was jerking him. Like he was going through some hardcore shit. And this is coming off of Food and Liquor and The Cool, which are two classics back to back.
Yes.
Blood. Food and Liquor and The Cool. Dude, look, here you go. Food and Liquor is a classic, right?
Yeah, easily.
The Cool is better.
Yeah.
And it's his second album. And it's back to back. And then he goes to like Lasers, and people go, "Oh, he's felt blood." Lupe went through a lot. And Lupe got to the point where he only rapped when he wanted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
His love to be like, "I want to rap, I want to kill this," died. Father passed away. Label was jerking him. People were talking shit about him. He was like, "Fuck that. I'm the best out here." Dude, my favorite people are Royce the 5'9" and Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
And when they beefed, it was like a little kid looking at his parents' divorce, bro. I was like, I don't know what side to go on.
Yeah.
I looked at Royce the 5'9" and Lupe as my favorite artists, hoping that they would never, ever clash.
Yeah, especially like that. Yeah.
Especially like that.
And it's so crazy that when Royce came out with his joint, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck Lupe gonna do, even knowing how nice Lupe was. And then when Lupe, it's all about that it's all about that effortlessness you talk about it, dog. Like when it's like when you get, I think artists, they be nice, and then you like, I don't know how artists can get even nicer, and then you be like, oh, he just doing what he want to do. I think Cole on that level now. Like Cole can do what he wants to do whenever, dog. When it comes to rapping, same thing with Kendrick. Like on Kendrick album, he did what he wanted to do. It was nothing was the same from track to track. You know what I mean? That's how Lupe songs are. Nothing are the same from track to track. Nothing the same from verse to verse with Lupe. I mean, damn near from stanza to stanza. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's get back to writing this verse. Shit. Who was more the responsibility on? The fans or the MCs or the artists? And I'm talking about we always complain about the trash that's out. You know what I mean? So who do you think more the blame is? Who do you think more the responsibility is on? For the quality of music that's
the DJs.
Huh?
The DJs.
That boy good.
The DJs, bro.
Wow.
The DJs, the PDs, the program directors, the EPs, the executive producers, all the people in charge of how music is disseminated to the masses. Dude, the artists don't matter. The artists don't matter, blood. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
like, remember when we had that conversation about NWA and stuff? Like the West Coast, and it turned it. Why did it turn into trash when it hit the West Coast? Was it because the West Coast? No. Because when I listened to East Coast albums of the same period, they talked about the same shit.
Yep.
They called themselves niggas. They call women bitches. Like they did the same thing, right?
Mhm.
But on the West Coast, you had a white executive that said,
Wow.
we can package this. We can sell this. We can make this big. So when I say DJs, I mean everybody in charge of playing the music. Because we can make the best music ever, but if they don't play it, it doesn't get out to people and it doesn't create a new culture, right?
Mhm.
The fans don't know about their music until we create it. So how does it get from us to them? That's the person that is at fault.
Okay. That's great. That's a great answer right there, boy. That's a great answer. Sheesh. Your best and worst show. Do you remember those performing? Do you have a lot of shows under your belt? You did a lot of performing?
Not
Not
a
enough?
lot, but I will say, how about this? My best show was I did a show with my homegirl Katrina B, and I did a poem and a verse for a
Mm.
track
Okay.
because she used to rock with us. It's so funny. Look, I'm collaborative, right? I include everybody, right? So I included Katrina B because she was my homegirl, right? I love you, girl. We all good. She kept it up and she got a DJ spot on Hot 97. Like she is killing it, right? But
Okay.
anyway, so that was my best one. My worst one was probably when your mom came out to California to visit. Your mom and my dad came out to California to visit. I did a poetry slam
Mm.
in blood. I blanked out
Wow.
halfway through it.
Mhm. Jeez.
That was probably my worst like performance ever
Mhm.
because I had done multiple slam poetry sessions before that.
Okay.
Everything went good. I always made it to the second round, all good. But when she was there and my dad was there, it was weird.
Mm. Say the least. Okay.
I
Okay.
paused, like I froze up. I froze. I forgot what I was. I
Mm.
forgot my poem.
All right. Instead of asking when did you know you made a question, I asked, what is something that what is something that you didn't think you would end up doing? You know what I mean, when you first started doing music, maybe a tour, you know what I mean, maybe an interview or shooting a video or something like that. Well, what is just something you didn't see happen?
I would
Nothing.
just say having other people hear our music.
Mm.
I remember one of my boys, Marky P, used to rock with me. And I remember he said one time he drove through a certain area and heard somebody in the garage playing our CD. And I was like, wow. I was like, all right.
Mhm.
I was like, bet. So that was something that like I really never expected.
Okay. All right. Last question. What's
Well,
your favorite album ever? Not yours,
blood.
but like in the world. What's your favorite album ever?
What the hell kind of question is that? My favorite album ever?
Yeah. It's crazy because you did that and then you shouted out Banned from TV, so it was perfect. So you know you might do the same thing again.
Hmm. You know what? Can I say three?
Of course.
Blood, you're being very nice to me. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna say System of a Down Toxicity, one of my favorite albums ever.
What is that again?
System of a Down is the band,
Okay.
and Toxicity is the album.
Okay. What genre is that?
Um, Metal,
Oh, word. Okay.
You know what? I gotta say, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Mm.
Rest in peace to Chester. That's two. I gotta say, A Love Supreme by Coltrane.
Mm.
I have to say that one because that was probably the first album I ever listened to where I like teared up listening to it because it
Mm.
was just so like beyond me and it was so
Okay.
incredible. And I was like 24, and I
Okay.
was like, this
Wow.
is like I'm emotional. I was like, this is incredible, right? Um, and dude, maybe hip hop. It might be Camp Low, blood.
This was perfect. Perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
sorry. I know it sounds weird. I know I should say like Tupac, All Eyes on Me. I should
No.
probably say like Nas. It was written.
No. I mean, I think that's the whole your favorite album. You know
But
what I mean?
dude,
When it comes to ever, when you ask somebody for their favorite and you put ever on it, it scratched out the whole. What would somebody want me to say? Now it's all about what I need. You know what I
nah,
mean? Like,
man. Dude, if I want to listen to an album forever in these different genres, System of a Down, Toxicity, I will listen to that back to back. Um, Linkin Park, back to back, the first album, Hybrid Theory, boom. But dude, if I'm talking on some hip hop stuff, like I should say like Midnight Marauders or the Love album, or like It Was Written, or like Blueprint, Jay-Z, Blood, Camp Low, that Saturday Night Fever.
that's just perfection, bro.
Honestly, nobody really fucks with that album.
They don't know. I don't think people
If you
know.
listen to it all the way through, and if you listen to their production, delivery, style, flow, it's hard to mess with. It's really hard. I would rather listen to Camp Low, Saturday Night Fever than Wu Take Forever.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, yeah,
Easy,
yeah.
easy, right?
I'm not pushing no buttons. I'm just letting it ride. I'm just letting it
Blood,
ride.
but
And it's a
everybody will say Wu Tang Forever or like 36 Chambers or something like, or Method Man to Cow should be before that.
that's the political answer, bro.
Blood, Camp Low, Saturday Night Fever washes almost everybody. It
I,
really does. Track for track and like a versus,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
sparkling. Are you serious? Got the bubbly flowing through me. Got the bubbly flowing through me. Spark. And when they come on the track, they effortlessly
Oh my gosh.
weave into the song. Just like nobody weaves into the music, right?
Yeah,
Like Camp Low. Nobody does. Nobody, look, I'm gonna say this right here. Nobody goes into the music like Camp Low, man.
yeah.
Nobody does. Lupe was in an interview talking about he wanted to be the rap version of like a Charlie Parker or something, right?
Mm,
Like somebody that like did music at a high level, like
mm,
meaning blending into the music with notes and rhythm and pauses and stops and stuff, right? Like Lupe looked at it as an instrument, like I'm rapping, but I'm an instrument, right?
mm,
But I'm also technical. Camp Low was technical and an instrument.
mm. Yeah,
And I put Camp Low against anybody.
yeah.
Anybody. I would
Well, I
rather
wouldn't
listen
say
to
Camp
Camp
Low.
Low.
I definitely say that album. 'Cause
I was
I've had their other albums, and I
yes,
would definitely say,
yes, I have listened to their other albums. So you are right. I would say Camp Low on Saturday Night Fever is better than the Locks, Dipset, Wu Tang Forever, fucking Tribe Called Quest, all of them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
We put an album towards another album complete. Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Saturday Night Special, I mean Saturday Night Fever is special.
Yeah, that's why I came up like that. Yeah,
The whole album rocks.
yeah. I'm about to throw that shit on right there, right now. But yeah, man, this was fun, man. This was definitely fun. But yeah, that's a 16 right there, bro. I think the most interesting thing, because I found out when I did produce also, is when I asked you for your creative process. And you get to find out how another artist writes their rhymes. Like that is so fucking interesting. Even though I did music with you, to hear that we kind of do write the same kind of way.
Did I go into my process?
When I asked you what your creative process was, first you told me about how I guess you would set the ambiance before the writing. But then before you know it, you started talking about how you would actually write a verse, which was perfect because that's the same thing Deuce did when I asked him the question also. But Deuce was like, yeah, I start freestyling.
I'm super scattered. I'm super scattered, man. I'm super scattered because sometimes if I want to write something, I want to get certain bars out.
That's how I am.
So I write the bars and I write the setup. And then I go, okay, I need to write something that blends in with this. You did?
Good. Hello? Yeah, you
good? Yes.
How you?
We out here, bud.
I see you.
I am out here.
Is there another hour or is it still 3 hours? The time difference.
The time difference to California from Virginia is 3 hours, but if you go Maui, it's like another 3 hours.
Another 3 hours.
So what time is it there?
11, 5 to 11.
It's 4:54 right now.
Oh, word, that's why the sun out, nigga. Like,
well, I am tripping. I am so sorry. I did not include that in my text message.
That is the middle of the day for you, man.
Yeah, it is the middle of the day, but
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Like,
Look good out there, though, nigga.